When creating or editing blend shape targets, it's very helpful to see the effect while still editing the shape. This eliminates many unnecessary editing steps and leads to a better result in the end. Sculpt Compare works best with range of motion animations, as this makes it easier to hit a certain pose or have the ability to always return to it. To activate Sculpt Compare, go to the Preferences and from the Sculpt tab, turn on Enable Sculpt Compare. In my scene, I have my character set up with a simple animation to better see how the character shape I want to add affects the mesh. I select the time range in the time slider which I want to use for the new shape and enter Edit Mode. Edit Mode works as usual, but with a Sculpt Compare active, a new slider gets added directly above the Edit Mode button. The slider label represents the name of the mesh used for the edit mode. Dragging the slider scrubs through the given time range and blends in the currently edited shape at the same time. Dropping the slider snaps it back to 0 and the pose is brought back to its editing stage. While dragging the slider, you can see how the rig is articulated with the shape being blended in. But it's not perfectly in sync with each other. This is because the driving animation curve is not linear, but the blending of the blend shape target is, which leads to a visible offset. To improve this behavior, we can have the animation curves being set to linear for the time of the edit. I first cancel the edit mode, then go to the Preferences and from the Sculpt tab activate Sculpt Compare with linear keys. This linearizes all animation curves when edit mode is entered and sets them back afterwards. Since all animation curves are being altered, it's always best to use this function only with test animations such as range of motion animations. There is no guarantee that after the edit all animations are reverted. Please keep this in mind. Again, I have to select my time range just because I've cancelled edit mode previously. You can now see the animation and the blending of the character shape appears much more in sync and better represents what the final shape will look like. After exiting the edit mode, the shape is applied as usual. Of course, now the new shape needs to be set up with a shape driver, but I skipped this step for now. The time range and sculpt frame gets stored with each new shape when Sculpt Compare is enabled. If a shape needs editing and the current pose doesn't match the sculpt frame, the time slider jumps to the frame at which the shape has been edited last. Also, after entering edit mode, the time range is recalled as well, so that it's not necessary to reselect the time range again. To automatically jump to the edit pose can be turned off from the Preferences. Sculpt Compare also provides a dragger tool so that you don't have to use the slider in the interface, but define a hotkey for a faster access. The Preferences let you set up a hotkey for the Compare tool, as well as the step size, which acts as a sensitivity value to control the slider and therefore the current time. A larger value lets you quickly drag between the start and end pose, while a smaller value gives you more control. In case the shape being edited is part of a combo, Sculpt Compare displays additional sliders during edit mode to quickly compare the effect of all participating shapes of the combo. The sliders automatically snap back to their maximum value so that the currently edited shape is not modified.